All right, guys, Melissa here. Let me see if I can get good lighting. So I've been talking to you guys. I don't know if I can get good lighting. I've been talking to you guys about, here we go, about being sick this week, right? So last night I had a situation. I had a couple situations. Let me see if I can turn this a little bit more. Okay, so I had a situation. And I had a boss. I'm like, hey, I need more hours. I'm really not making it. I need more hours. You all know I'm getting my business going and everything. Trying to keep it off the ground, consistency. So she's like, oh, that's really, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. This has been the carrot dangling off the stick because they've been like, oh, we'll probably have more hours for you. We'll probably have more hours for you, right? So because they don't take care of their people, I said, okay, 2 weeks notice, because you don't care, and you don't care about me, and now it's your problem, basically, because you don't care. We have so many people who hire people. They don't want to pay, benefits. They don't want to do anything. So they'll hire people for piecework, right? And I'm like, basically, this is your problem now. So here's my 2-week notice for a bank. They're like, okay, can you just make sure you give us 2 weeks. Thanks for being committed. I'm like, yeah. So then last night I go into work and I'm sick. So I go in. I first of all, there was a new person, and I said, yeah, okay, so here's the key, because I was told to give him a key. Gave him the key, and then he's got another key around his neck. And I'm like, what is that to? The office upstairs? He goes, yeah, I'm doing that now. I go, really? And so I said, that's interesting, because I've been asking for more hours. So I said, how much experience do you have and stuff? Really not much at all. So I was so offended, right? And I'm like, Melissa, don't act from your emotions, act from logic, right? So I'm like, well, I'll just do my work and I'll think this out and how I want to deal with this. So I said to my boss, I said something like, why is it that I've asked for hours and you can't give them to me, but you can give them to the new guy? Something like that. So anyways, I start doing my work and I feel nauseous. And I'm like, okay, it's one thing to go to a conference during the day and you're sitting there not doing anything, but it's another thing to, do physical work and start feeling sick. So I started feeling sick. So I went up to this coworker and I said, hey, do you got all this? He goes, yeah, go ahead and go home. I go, fine. So that's what I did. Well, I get calls last night, 10, 11 o'clock at night, right, over and over and over. I'm not answering my phone. I'm not feeling good. So then this morning I get messages and stuff, and they were nasty, nasty messages. Your character is awful because you left last night. I'm like, hey, I was sick. My character is actually good. I went in twice this week sick because, you needed me and I was sick, kind of thing. So they're like, oh, I regret giving you 5 nights. Bring the key in now. Bring the key in today. So I was at a conference today and I said, hey guys, I had this situation with a boss, because they said, who was the worst boss that you ever worked with? And I said, so I had this situation that my boss is disrespecting me right now. He disrespected me. He gave this other person more work who's new, and he knew I needed work, right? And so I said to him in a text, I said, were you lying to me? Do you just lie to people, right? Saying that they're going to have more work and you don't give them more work? He's like, it's really none of your business, blah, blah, blah. I go, it is my business when you don't put the employees who are there first as a priority. It is my business. Blah, 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 blah. You're lying about being sick. I'm like, I'm not lying about being sick. I'm like, I have been sick. And so he just ranted. I'm done with this conversation. I've had it with you. Blah, 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 blah. And so I said to the guy next to me, the one that took me out for lunch the other day, I said, let me take you out for lunch today for taking me out to eat the other day. He goes, yep, definitely. So we went and we had lunch, but I said, hey, look at this. This is my phone. My boss is ranting on and on and on. You better give us that key today. I go, look, I'm in a conference all day. I am not available until Monday. You're putting the account at risk. I'm like, you have a key and so does the coworker. Blah, 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 all day long. So I'm trying to focus on the conference, not talk to him much. I go to the guy next to me. I go, look at this. Look at what he's doing. I go, my dad taught me not to cry. So I just took like a verbal beating today for being sick last night. I said, what is your policy? Your policy, you didn't have anyone on the floor to tell me whether I can leave or not. So I found somebody to do my work, and you're taking a fit about this? This is ridiculous. So, and I said, he goes, well, you don't even know what you want. You don't even know what you want. You just gave a notice to the bank. I go, yeah, I did, because that was lost opportunity for me to pick up this new, workload I have. So, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he made it personal. So I said to the other boss, I said, look, he is personally assassinating my character. And so she's like, well, we need the key today. I go, it ain't going to happen. That's on you. You don't have extra keys? That's on you. I'm busy all weekend. It's my birthday tomorrow. Don't bother me, kind of thing. So, guys, you got to stick up for yourself. You have to. And this conference I went to today was great. Most of the stuff we do not learn in school. Most of it we just don't. So we were talking about real estate. And the banks, they were asking, who funds the banks? Well, it's the herd of people. And you think it's the government, but the Federal Reserve is not the government. The Federal Reserve is a group of wealthy people, right? And all they do is what the bank does is take out loans. That's all they're doing is taking out loans. The way you make money is actually debt. That's how you make money. And we have Dave Ramsey and Susan Orman, is it, who say, don't take out debt. Actually, you do need to have leverage and take out debt in order to make money. So, your savings, money is not making you, your money's not really growing at what, 1%, 2%. Maybe you have a high yield savings account, maybe 4% the most compared to the stock market. You put your money in a CD, compound interest, 2% you're losing every year. They had a video with John, is it Bogle, who came up with Vanguard? 2% over 50 years. You start with 100,000. You are losing like 2/3 of the money. You are coming away with like 36,000 after 50 years with all the fees they charge you. So they don't teach you this stuff in school, probably on purpose, I don't know, or just they don't know. It was built, the schools, as a system during the Industrial Revolution just to make factory workers. Henry Ford had an assembly. That's all people did. So people like Rockefeller made the schools so that people would know just how to do what they're told instead of think. So now we've had homeschooling, right, where we're teaching people how to think more. But you're not learning this stuff. You're not learning it. So it was very eye-opening to me. It was really good about, taking your money and making it grow. And they even use the parable of the talents, right? Some people were given one, some were given two. I also feel like it's your time too. So if you have children, you're investing. If you have a seed, like a farmer, and you have that one seed, you're investing. If you have that one seed and you eat like the corn seed, you lost your investment. So making your money work for you, and it's just been so good for me to look at this stuff and be like, yeah, use Dave Ramsey when you're talking about consuming, but if you're talking about investing, get debt. Get debt. So it's a good thing.